wasps can recognize each other's faces. Bacteria use color as a weapon. Circuits can be painted with light. All these facts have one thing in common. They were discovered by accident. Here at Skunk Bear, we wanted to celebrate scientists' ability to take mistakes, coincidences, and surprises and turn them into important insights. So we created the Golden Mole Award for Accidental Brilliance. The golden mole is an accidentally brilliant animal because the structure in its fur that evolved to help it slip through sand also just so happens to give it a metallic sheen. We received 300 submissions from all over the country, and with much hand-wringing, we managed to winnow them down to the top 5 nominees. Calden Carroll was struggling to create a molecule that would light up in the presence of chloride, an atom that's important in diseases like cystic fibrosis. But when he finally tested his molecule, it didn't highlight chloride, it lit up nitrate instead. It seemed like a complete failure. Then a professor pointed out that this failed marker could actually be really useful, not for medicine, but for agriculture. Carroll used his molecule to build nitrate sensors that will help farmers fertilize their fields more efficiently. David Auschalam's lab was studying an odd new material, a thin sheet of atoms with potential applications in quantum computing. But their experiments kept going haywire. After months of searching for the source of the problem, they finally found it, right over their heads. The newly installed energy-efficient bulbs in their lab were emitting a specific wavelength of light that was messing with the electrical properties of the material. But what started as an annoyance turned into a breakthrough. With a little tweaking, they learned that this wavelength could be used to gently paint and erase circuits on their fragile material. Elizabeth Tibbets was studying cooperation in wasps. She caught the wasps and painted dots on their backs to help her tell them apart. But one day she forgot to mark a few of them and made an amazing discovery. She could still tell the wasps apart because their faces were unique. Later, Tibbets showed that wasps can recognize each other. Contrary to established dogma, these social insects had personal relationships. Their tiny brains, just like the brains of humans, have evolved to recognize faces. Ken Steadman was looking for fossilized viruses, ancient strains that might be trapped in mineral deposits left by billion-year-old hot springs. But what would those fossils look like? To find out, Steadman put modern viruses in a homemade hot spring. They were quickly coated in silica, becoming unrecognizable blobs, which didn't help him at all. Then a student left some of them out overnight, and the silica dissolved. To everyone's surprise, the viruses had survived. It turned out the silica coating also protected them from heat and desiccation. Steadman had stumbled upon a way to preserve viruses, which could help doctors preserve vaccines in regions without refrigerators. Bacteria come in all sorts of colors, but George Liu wasn't interested in that at all. He was focused on a toxin produced by Streptococcus. But his bacteria kept dying. He couldn't understand why until he smelled bleach on his glassware. The student who washed them hadn't been rinsing enough. He noticed that bacteria with pigment tended to survive their encounters with bleach, and those without pigment died. Color did matter. Why? Liu remembered that immune cells also use the active ingredient in bleach, hypochlorite, to kill bacteria. His research showed that pigment was one of Strep's secret weapons against the immune system. These scientists all encountered problems, but they didn't get discouraged. With curiosity and determination, they turned what looked like failure into success. So, without further ado, the Golden Mole Award for Accidental Brilliance goes to Elizabeth Tibbets, who went face to face with wasps.